Hello and welcome to the new Power BI dashboard tutorial, and as you can see in this video we will going to look at the financial dashboard. So financial dashboard is a very common dashboard in any company, and this is a very high level for senior management who wants to track for various companies. So the companies filter is over here, like Everest Group, Canada, France, Switzerland and UK. What are their sales, tax, assets, current assets and liabilities? And not only that, they want to track it, the change from the last month, right? So last month sales 5.04 million, current month is 5.04, last month is 10.4, so it has gone down to half in current month. So that is what we are showing it over here in this KPI dashboard. Then down below, what do we have is a dynamic chart, which is the actual trend of selected KPI measure. Like we are selecting assets, so this is what we have the trend. Let's say we want to select the sales, then this is what the trend is. If you want to select taxes, then this is what the trend is. So this is the actual, this is the cumulative sales trend, which is nothing but when you add 6 to this and then to this and continuously show the progression. So this is what it is showing you, the progression, which is helpful in knowing in each year up until so far in various years how we have reached and whether there is any stagnant or a trend change or things like those. Like for example, from here to here, pretty much stagnant, but then tax increase in proportion to sales. As you can see, sales is stepping up, but this tax in terms of actual trend is stepping up, but in cumulative trend it is not stepping up. So it basically gives you the broader perspective in terms of when you look at the things holistically, then how does your trend really looks like. So very effective measure in those scenarios where we need to understand the trends from different perspective. So that is what we will going to look at in this dashboard. And as you can see, we will going to create a lot of calculation. If I show you in the data over here, so these are various different calculations. CM is current month, PM is previous month, then we have the percentage change, things, so on and so forth. We will use the parameters to basically take all of these values into a proper parameter and then change these values. So for that also we will going to create some big calculation. So this is a very I would say relatively advanced dashboard where you can create the dynamic behavior with the good look and feel and the layout for your output or for your company. So over here I can select only Everest Group Canada, Everest Group France, Switzerland and UK, and you can see the values relatively, right? So that is something which is useful if you want to see overall company performance or you just want to see the everyone's performance individually. Okay, so where is the data? That is the number one question, right? So number one question will get answered over here. So the link which I have given in the description will take you over here in data sets. In the data sets, what you will going to find is this data sets sheet, which is present over here, and the finance statement dashboard is present over here. So you can come over and access this, like this individual right now is accessing this particular sheet. So that way all of these data sets which I commonly use is present over here. Plus if I add anything, you always know that this is the sheet you need to refer to. So how does the financial data look like? So financial data looks like something like this. Over here, if you see, what do we have is the month for various years, then we have the cost center, company, depreciation, and the rest of the other financial measure that with which we need to work on. And one last information about all the Power BI videos that I am basically creating. So far 300 plus videos is what I have created, and all of these videos are present over here in the easy to search manner. That way you don't have to really scroll through a lot of a lot of videos on my channel, but you can simply come over here, search any of the video that you like and jump onto that using the link that is present over here. So that is something what I am basically maintaining for you, so that you can bookmark it and refer it whenever you need it very easily. All right, so once we have this, let's come back and over here we have financial dashboard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click on the blank report. and then we will start creating the dashboard. So as you can see right now in front of you, the dashboard is coming. So while it is loading, these days I'm publishing a lot of dashboards as I have some free time, and I'm giving some dedicated time to YouTube. So let me know what kind of dashboard you want to see so that I can create something that is useful for you. Also, if you want me to recreate any dashboard that you have seen, let's say somewhere on LinkedIn or on the website, that yeah, this is something looks useful, can we create something similar to this, you can request it in the comments and I can have a look at it and give it a try. Alright, so we have this. I'll just click on Excel and see whether this is Excel or CSV. Yep, we have Excel financials, and let's click OK. And we will just quickly see whether the data is coming perfectly or not, so that we can, if needed, we can do the transformations tab. Okay, so we have the financial over here. Let me just click this. So you have the month, cost center, company, and rest of the other values. So looks like it's all good. The only thing is which I'm seeing, month is not proper. So let me just see if I can format the month properly and get the desired output, because it needs to be a proper hierarchy and not like the month ABC, right? So over here, if I see, what do we do is we just simply say it is a date, and it gives us an error, right? So some of the date it is able to take it 7 from 1st of July, 701, 702, 703, and some of the dates are coming as error. So what we can do is we can basically then format it in the front end. I'll just try one more option. So what is happening is basically over here it is taking that it is a mix of dates. So 630, so this is basically MMDDYY, right? That is the format that basically it is taking. So what I can do is I can just go and say use locale, and then in the use locale we can say the United States. So we are saying that it is date, and we are saying that not English India but English United States, because that's where the format, see 3/29/2016, and click OK. Oh, still it is giving us error, right? As you can see over here. So what I can try then is I'll just close, and I'll just see. So our dates are usually starting from 1st of July. I'll click close and apply, and I know that in the front end when I change this format, it does it fine. If it does not, let's say if you are facing in a real-time data set or in your company data set, if it is not, because there is a mix of basically values, then ideally what you should do is, based on how you are seeing the trend or how you are seeing the values, right, you basically take date, month, and year. So if you see, the format for me is a little bit messed up, right? That is why I think I was getting an error. So I will try from data type text to date. I want to change. Yes, I want to change. And now if you see, it has corrected, and from 1st of July as I was seeing it over there. So in the front end it has identified. So I'm not giving a lot of investigation to it, right? I have just shown you as to how I have applied it and done it. Ideally in real time, the way you should do it, you should not trust simply this transformation. You should go and randomly basically select the rows, maybe 10, 15, 20 rows, and see that yes, this is getting the right output or not. So it's a caveat, you know, caution that you should apply when you are working with a real-time data set, because if your dates are wrong, then you will going to get the wrong output. Okay, so I'm coming here and I'll just click close. So I have the financial data. Now if I go back to this one, so first thing first is this you know, come on, I'll just click on refresh now. I don't know why it keeps giving me this error. Okay, So first thing first is the financial dashboard headline, right? So what I'll do is I will simply say 40 over here, and I will say, come on, 40 bold financial dashboard, right? That way I have the similar output. Okay, perfect. So we have this. Once we have the financial dashboard, right, the next part is this slicer, which is nothing but your company. Very straightforward, right? You're not doing anything interesting, but wait for it. It's coming. It's just the next step where you will see how things can go crazy. All right. And what I'm having is this background, which I need to change it to gray, and we get a 50% transparent. So again, this is the formatting usually what I use, but it depends on your company or your own choice if you're creating a personal portfolio sort of a dashboard, right? So you can create your own way. So this is what it is right now. Now comes the interesting part, because what do we have over here is these KPIs, right? And then current month, and it is referencing the last month and the percentage change. So it is a lot of value that we are giving it to the end user, right? So the way we need to do at this is we need to identify what is the current month sales by creating these calculations, the last month and the change. And the basic, or the way you need to start is by identifying the latest date that is at data set level. So how we can do that is by creating a measure, right? So what we're going to do is we need the latest date. Come on, latest date is equals to calculate max of date. All right, max of month, sorry, not date, max month, right? And then what do we have is all selected, and what do you call the financials. Okay, so that way if I show you, what do I going to get is this latest date, which is 30th of June 2022. Okay, so based on this date, then we know that and you need to always check, and I have already checked it, that's why I'm using it. So 30th June 2022 is this, and I'll just format it that I need DD MMM YY. That is the format I need, so I've just entered that, and it will going to give me this. Perfect. So we have this, and then based on this, what we need to basically create is the current month and previous month values. So current month will always based on the latest date, but the previous month will be where we have to do some calculations. So this is something where I will just trust on, on my own measures, because that's where I can do much more basically modification. Current month, and current month is basically your based on this date, simply you need to find the month of latest date. That's it, right? And then we will see what output we are getting over here is June, so 6th, right? So that is good. Now we have the current month, latest date. We will going to create the previous month by subtracting it 1 from the current month. But if your current month is, let's say, 1, that means January, that means you need to go back into the last year. So for that, what do we need is current month, and I will also create one more same by I just copied this, and I click on this new measure, and I will say current year, right? Because we may need it when we are doing the month calculation. Year, okay. So it will going to give us 2022, that we know. Now we will going to create the previous month. Okay, so hash previous month is basically alt enter to go into the column. So we'll say var underscore latest month is equals to the hash latest, not the latest date, but current month, right? So that is the value what we already have, right? And previous month. So our condition was the whether it is the month number 12 or what, right? So in this case, I will say not the latest month, but previous month, okay? And I'm putting it into a variable, and I'm then using the if condition. If our what do you call current month is equals to 1, then 12, otherwise current month minus 1. Okay, so this calculation basically takes care that if our current month is 1, then please go back in December, otherwise continue subtracting the 1, and alt enter and simply say return underscore previous month. Okay, so this is the proper way, so that tomorrow if you need to understand and make some modification, you can easily make it. Same way I will say the previous year. So let me just do it from scratch. Okay, hash previous year is equals to, and alt enter var underscore previous year is equals to if current month is equals to 1, then current year minus 1, otherwise current year. Got it? So that means if my month is first, so if I need a previous year, that means do a current year minus 1, because it will go back in December, otherwise stay in the current year. And alt enter and simply say return underscore previous year. Perfect. All right, so we have this. If we want, we can check all of these formulas. I'll just click over here, I'll click this, I'll click again over here, I'll click this, and the way I see this is, yeah, it's so previous year in this case is basically always reflect whenever there is the month number 1, otherwise it will always be this. So the current year. So in this case I'll just delete everything, because that's the calculation we want. Now we need to use these calculations in our the measures over here, and as you can see, measures are strongly put it over here as text. These are all the whole number. Yes, and I'll just select that, not the data type text, but the whole number. If I remember correctly, you know, when the Power Query, I think it was giving it correctly, it was all right aligned, which gave me the indication. Oh, not the company, sorry. Cost center, current sets. That is what I need. Whole number, yes. So one by one we have to do it. Text and whole number, yes. And then after that, what do we have is the depreciation, whole number, yes. Then we have the liabilities. If you want, you can skip this part. If you are following with me, then yeah, just do this conversion quickly one by one. Whole number, yes. And then operating expenses, and over here we need the whole number, yes. And sales and taxes. So now let's go ahead, start creating this. No, first of all, sales, I need to do this. I just got distracted a little bit. Sales and taxes, whole number, yeah. And then I can go ahead and create the first measure, and the rest of the other measures will be same as it is. So write a next expression. All right, so I'm saying current month, right? Current month, and what is our value? I am creating first of all for assets, right? First is assets, so CM assets. So we can take any 5 or 4, whatever the number that we need, right? So I have taken, I think, sales tax, current asset, current liabilities, and assets. So I'm doing assets, and assets is basically alt enter, and we will say var variable underscore CM current month is equals to the current month, alt enter, return, alt enter, and we are saying calculate sum of assets, right? And then the month of month, financial month, is equals to the underscores current month. That's it. All right, so that way same calculation for current asset, current liabilities, sales taxes. So CM assets. Let's just quickly see. Click it over here. CM assets. 1 billion in the assets, right? Let's just see very quickly. Do we have assets over here? So for us over here is coming as 227.47, right? And the reason why it is coming, can you give it a guess why it is coming like this? I just realized why it is coming. So take a pause and try to answer it in comment. Okay. So if you have answered it, good. But if not, then one thing that we have to put it over here is the year, because what it is doing is for the June, it is taking the current year. June is also in last year, year prior to that, and year prior to that, because this is a 4-year worth of data. So we need to say the year, month is also the latest one, right? So alt enter var underscore year is equals to current year, and we will say underscore year, and then we are good. 227 million. Makes sense? Perfect. Now you will create the rest of the one following the same example, same scenario, same as assets, sales, taxes, current asset, current liabilities. Okay. So that is one. And now I will show you how we can create it for the previous. So what I'll do is I will simply copy this and I'll put it as a new measure. And my new measure is not the CM but the PM, which is previous month assets, CM, and what we'll call it, previous month, right? And this one also we'll call it previous year. Now you got the idea that how easy it is once we have done the solid foundation. So over here, previous month assets, over here is this 227 million. Let's just see. Yeah, 226.83 is nothing. In rounded figure is 227 million. So that is why the difference was also coming as 0. So now we will going to create the difference, right? So difference is also we're going to create a measure, and that is hash asset percentage change is equals to the divide formula, and in the bracket we will say CM assets minus PM assets, right? That's the difference, divided by the base, which is previous month assets, and the output we are going to get is the 0%. So this one I will change it to percentage, right? And the decimal we will give it to 0. Okay, and then you can see the output we are going to get is the 0%. So now these are the three calculations: current month assets, previous month assets, assets percentage change needs to be replicated for current assets, current liabilities, sales, and taxes. So I am going to I'm going to pause it, and then I will do it in the background, and you also do it, so that I'll come back within a second for you, but for me it will going to take 10-15 minutes. So I don't want to repeat the same thing again and again and make this video long, but I'll just do it quickly and then come back. Alright, so as you can see on the right hand side, I have gone ahead and created all the current month and the previous month calculation, and after that I have created the percentage change calculation that will going to help me produce the KPIs, right? So now what I can do is I can remove this, previously created the KPI boxes, and then I will start creating it. So this time what I am doing is I'm not using this KPI card, but I'm going to use this one, which is a new KPI card, right? So here we will continue to add the KPIs that we have created, and then we will produce the output. Okay, so what do we have? First, let's say we want to take sales. Generally, that's how it works. Taxes, right? We have to, as you can see, it is automatically taking the space. So current month sales, current month taxes, then we want to take the assets, right? And we want to take the current month current assets, right? And then current liabilities. Okay, so now we have these, which is present over here, as you can see. Now what we need to do is need to configure this little bit. So I'll come over here in the format your visuals, right? So here is the layout, single row, maximum cards. Let's change this to 5, and now all the 5 cards will be coming over here. So we have this, and another thing is around the cards. The shape is rectangle, so rounded rectangle is what we need, and this much is fine, right? And after that, once we have this, what we are also having is the reference labels, right? So we see reference label over here, which is current month sales label. We want to add a reference label. So in this case, what do we want? There's a previous month, right, as a reference. So this is why we created the previous month, because it helps put a reference and show it, as well as to calculate the change. So previous month sales, we will going to add it, and here is our reference label, right? So previous month sales, and we have the sales percentage change, which we will also put it over here. So as you can see, both of them are coming here, and I just need to increase the size, right, so that they are properly coming. Previous month sales and this, and now we can configure, or we can do the customization to the labels. PM sales is the last month sales. So in this case, field name, the title is custom, right? And rather than PM sales, what we can say, last month, right? Because sales is anyway, we will be using it over here as a measure or as a title. So last month is this, current month is this. And then what do we have is the sales percentage change, which is also custom. So rather than we will say sales, again, there is no point that we basically do that. So change per percentage change is 0.52. And what we can do is we can click on the sales percentage change over here and make it percentage, so that it is coming in a proper percentage form, 51.53. And let's take decimal out, and that will give us the 52%. Or if you want, you can give 1 decimal, which more than sufficient, just to see that more realistic value, that it's not 52% but 51.5% in negative, right? So that is something what we can do as part of this. And now the current month sales. So for the current month sales, over here in the cards, so we have series all, CM sales, right? If I see, I do not have the title option, right? Like earlier I was having for reference labels. So I will still do it, and I'll let you know how I can. But one more thing I will just quickly do it is the shadow piece, right? If you see, but not only this one, let me just uncheck that, but for all, okay? And we will bring the shadow, as you can see, this is part of the formatting of our views, right? Okay. Yep. All right. Shadow is there and a glow, which is the blue format, which is this one. Okay. So we have the glow and this one, last month sales and everything is done. Now I'll just again click it over here and I will say either sales or current month sales, right? So that way our title will be fine and we can show the information correctly. I'll just give it a space. Okay, so current month sales, same way we can do it over here. Current month taxes, current month assets, CA current liabilities, so this is fine. Current CL, so the liabilities and assets, so this is current asset, current assets, and this is current liabilities, right? So current liabilities, and we are done. Okay, so now we have this. What we can do is we need to come over here and in the cards what we can do is not the cards, reference label, sorry, current month sales. Now we will go to the current month taxes. So what we have is the same information. We will do it previous month, not the assets but the previous month PM taxes as a reference label, and the previous month percentage change. So I'll just quickly see, here it is, right? So both of them are here now. So now we can come over here, label, change the label to custom, and we will call it last month, right? And copy, and then we can change this from PM taxes to taxes percentage change. So the same thing we have to now do it for rest of the places as well, percentage change, right? So again, I'll just take a pause so that you can also do it and practice it, and I will just come back after I am updating all the variables. All right, so I have gone ahead and as you can see, I have changed it to everyone. So this way, it will be very easy for me to reference it, what happened previous month and current month. So current assets is this one, 3 million, and last month there says 227, which is wrong. So this is what I'm probably putting is the assets, PM's previous month, current, like not this one, but current assets. So PM assets, not the PM assets, but the PM CA. Okay, so both are close, but if you will see it in decimal, you will see the difference, and that's why we are seeing 9.9%. That is why sometimes decimal is important. So previous month current assets, if I change this to a decimal, you will see 3.5 million, and this one, if we change, we will see the value for and what is basically driving the change. So just quickly, current month current assets, which is this one, and let's change to one decimal, right? 3.1 million, 3.5 million, so close to this much. So if you want, you can if percentages is looking like, you know, it is not making sense, then we have to open up this decimal point. So up to us that we want this configuration. I have shown you that how you can do that and do the comparison easily from 3.5 million to 3.1 million, close to 10% change, and that is what we are having. So now we have created the KPIs. The next step is to create the dynamic measures. So dynamic measures, if you remember what we had, if I show you, we have these two charts, which is basically showing you the actual trend. So right now the taxes is selected. So it shows that how the taxes were till 2018, then it grown up and now it is down. But this is a cumulative chart showing you till the start of the company, and right now what is the total tax we have given so far, right? So both the charts have its value shown that whether it is going up, and as you can see slowly it has gone down, and we can see the in actual trend how much it has gone down. It is showing in both these places. So I felt like, this can be something very useful for us and for you to show it for your in your dashboards. So how we can produce it, let's quickly see this. Okay, and I'll move this. And now as you would expect to create a chart like this, what do we need is the parameters. So in the modeling we have new parameter and fields, and in this case we will call it the KPI measure, right? You can have 5 KPIs like we are selecting it over here, or you can have all the KPIs. So for now what I'll do is I'll just select 5, right? I'll just go and say assets, current liabilities, sales and taxes, and create. Okay, so we have this. I'll go inside slicer settings and change this to a tile, and then we will just move it up so that they are all coming properly. Okay, and slicer header border, I will reduce the border tone to very less, not the white but this much. Okay, and if you want to change the background, that's okay, but values, how you want to see the values, if you want to increase it like this much, then it should be good. Okay, so we have this KPI measure. The last thing which I will do is the background of the overall, and I'll move it to what, 50%. Yeah, so I'll just, yep, okay, perfect. So we have the slicer now that we can, with which we can select. But how do we select? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so what do we have is basically we need to create the measure which can basically go and take the values of these taxes from what we are selecting over here. So as you can see, KPI measure is basically a new table which is being created, and now we will have to then create one measure that should take its value and basically going to show the impact in the chart. All right, so for that I'm going to click on the new measure, and this will be an interesting one. So this will be hash selected measure is equals to, and I will press alt enter, and we will say switch function we will going to use, and we will say the values of the KPI measure, right? So KPI measures, right? And I'll switch function will open, keep open, we'll keep it open, and we will move on to, so what is the value, what should be the result? So we are saying if it is sales, right, then give us sum of sales. That's it. Alt enter. If it is taxes, then give us what, sum of taxes, right? Alt enter. If it is assets, right, then give us sum of, come on, comma, sum of assets. Alt enter. If it is current assets, capital A, just make sure that you are writing the correct values, sum of current assets, comma, alt enter, current liabilities, then give me the sum of current liabilities, and then we can close it. Alt enter. Now what I can do is I have the selected measure. I'll just go and create one chart, right? And on the x-axis what I can do is I can take this date parameter I'll remove the day because we don't want till the day level, but we want this. Okay, and I'll just select the assets, and I have my assets. So you can see our chart is working, right? So if I move this up and move this till here, which is taking half of the screen, so give us the input of what it is. So I'll just remove that. Some of the formatting that we can do. Come on, I'll just need to click on that. And on the x-axis, we don't need the title. Right? On the y-axis, we don't need values. We don't need title. Why? Because we will show the data labels right then and there itself. Come on. Yeah. Okay. So you can see how the assets are moving. Same way, current assets, same way, current liabilities, sales, taxes, right? So all of that, something you can see. Now this is dynamically changing. The next thing what we want is the the title, which we want to change it to actual trend, right? And we'll copy and paste and align it. Yeah, okay. And this is the cumulative trend. So I'll just come over here and call it cumulative trend, right? Once we have the cumulative trend, what do we need to do is we need to basically create a measure, or we need to create the basically a running sum type of a calculation that will going to give us the output of the cumulative sum, right? Okay, so how do we do that? That is also pretty interesting, and we will simply go and utilize the what based on what we are selecting give us that output. Okay, so for that I'll click on the new measure, and that will going to help us hash running sum. So why I'm using hash is because I want to clearly see what are my measures to differentiate those from the normal fields. Okay, so we are saying calculate, and what we have is already the selected measure, right? And then what do we have is basically we need to say all selected, because we want the selection of the table, right? So we have the all selected, which is the financial table. That means if any filters is we are applying, it should basically take the impact, like we are having company filter at the top, if you see that. So we'll say financial, or I will say amount, the month, right, is less than equals to the max of the month. That means run this calculation till the time this is running. Okay, so this is the general calculation for your running sum. Okay, now let's see the impact. Close this, running sum, and what do you have is the running sum of your output. So now if I click on assets, come on, assets, current liabilities, sales, and taxes, right? And now last piece which I will do is convert this into sort of an area chart, which is this one. Oh, come on. Press undo. I don't know what did I do. Okay, it was, this one was selected, so I need to select this, change into this, so that it looks good, right? Relatively better and filled up. So with that, your dashboard is ready, right? So now I can select any company like Everest Group overall, see it's all the values for current month, the last month, and these trends of the taxes, the sales, the current liabilities, the assets, and so on and so forth. So this is something which I wanted to show you in this dashboard as to how you can go ahead and produce it. And I hope you enjoyed the session with me of these different KPIs, the settings for these ones, and I hope I've been able to show all of these things to you very effectively, and you can go ahead and replicate in your dashboard or your portfolio dashboard that you are creating for Power BI. So with that, I'll now close this and I'll meet you in the next video, but feel free to comment, ask me question if you have, and meet me now in the next video with some new topic.